We are here today at Grow Farm Solutions. I am Haley Clark, the social media person around here, and this is Brooks Reed, our CEO, kind of a jack of all trades kind of thing. So we're just going to be talking to Brooks today about harvest and everything that we encountered throughout it. So, Brooks, why don't you give us a little overview?
An overview. Man, that's a mountain of a task, right?
Yeah, it is.
So we kicked off harvest this year and rolled into some corn. And not long after that, we actually got into soybeans at the same time. So we were running two combines within a couple miles of each other, and that kept the trucks busy. And then we moved on up north and got both combines in soybean field together, and then knocked that farm out quick. And then we were like all caught up to things that were ready. So we went and helped a neighbor run some of his equipment and harvested some for him. And we came back and with a little bit of rain delays mixed in there, got ours harvested and wheat planted, and here we are.
All right. Well, tell us about some of the technical difficulties we had this year.
Technical difficulties. Oh shoot! The semi trucks was giving us a little bit of a headache.
Yeah.
We actually finished the season down with two trucks. We kind of got close to the end, and it was like, well, we're just not gonna fix this one today. Let's go on, kind of deal. So, but nothing super major. Just tires and airline airbag issues and stuff like that. Just how it goes.
Yeah, because somebody got on there sometime during the harvest season and said that the seat was down. So I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. The airline got got pinched underneath the seat, and so the seat won't hold its air. So yeah, some people like to ride low, so they just got to drive that truck.
Yeah. How did this season compare to other seasons?
This season compared to other seasons, so like in 24 we had a lot of high heat, and as the crop was harvest was underway and crop was ripening, and corn went from like 20% moisture down to like 12 real quick on us, and we didn't have that this season. We was able to keep decent moisture in the corn, even in the soybeans. I think dry as soybeans, we even got into some 10% soybeans, which is not typical. A lot of times soybeans will get in at 7 and 8% on you because of we was able to keep harvest schedule caught up to the beans as they was ripening, and keep the moisture, keep more weight on the truck.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your expectations with the fields, and if they met up to them or if they didn't.
So expectations on the field. So I had a few that fell short. In comparison, I was waiting on the grain cart. I got out, and I actually had found a split in the field where I had run out of the one hybrid and finished with a different one with a couple acres, and it was like night and day difference on this hybrid under the same management, the yield difference, we're talking like 40-50 bushel comparison that this two hybrids in a side by side in the field. And that carried over into the field where that hybrid was across the whole field. It just fell flat on its face. It just did not perform for us this year. We've tried some other products, got some product trials, stuff like that out. We've working with Total Acres, so we've sent the data off. Hopefully, we'll get our side by side comparisons back on that and be able to analyze and see what those products have done for us, whether there'll be something we'll add into the lineup, or some of them are even experimental products, so they may or may not make it to the marketplace.
Yeah. So talk to us some about this chicken litter.
Chicken litter. My neighbors love me, right?
Oh yeah.
I heard from one that when we had been spreading it on this one farm, and that's new for us this year, was doing some dry chicken litter spread. We're utilizing some liquid chicken litter in in-furrow applications at foliar, but we had done some dirt work and wanted to try to help stimulate that soil where we had really we built some terraces to protect the land from erosion and done the dirt work there. So we spread some dry chicken litter on those fields, and those actually was our highest yielding fields this year, was the ones where the dry chicken litter was spread.
Yeah, yeah. I talked to a person who helped you spread it, and he was very surprised by the results of it. He hadn't heard anything about it until this year, so definitely recommend it. Favorite part of harvest time?
Favorite part of harvest time? That would be any time in the combine seat for me. I mean, that's where we see how the products we've been using worked, didn't work. Just seeing the fruits of your labor. And so I love picking corn, but even soybeans. I mean, when you're cutting soybeans that are 90 bushel soybeans, I mean that gets you excited, right?
Yeah.
Well, they weren't like that across the whole farm, but in some of our trial stuff, I mean, we were seeing some really good soybean yields. So, but yeah, combine time, that's my favorite time of harvest. Somebody asked me that question once, and I said, "Go and pick up the check at the elevator." That's also right up there too. That's a good.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. We one of the videos I had posted about the beans, a person had commented on and said that they looked like good beans. So.
Yeah. One of the things we've learned, tried again this year, was managing our double crop soybeans. So we'll plant a wheat in the fall. We'll harvest that along in midsummer, along in mid-June, and then come back and plant soybeans in that field. And we have learned that foliar nutrition in with a herbicide pass on our regular crop beans has some response. And so we've carried that management practice into our double crop soybeans. And this season, our double crop soybeans still had green leaves when we finally got that late rain in September. And we had flown a drone pass of some foliar nutrition on these soybeans. And I took a picture of it. We had clusters at the top of the plant. And I was like, that's where the top end yield comes from on a monocrop soybean field. Well, those double crop soybeans, I believe we were able to capture the yield because we got those soybeans to set, those flowers to turn into pods, and then we got that rain and they filled. And so we had clusters of beans, like 6-7 cluster beans at the top of the plant. And I didn't see that in our first crop soybeans this year because we were so hot and dry during the grain fields period. Those earlier season soybeans, they just didn't have the yield potential because we just had the moisture to fill and finish.
Yeah, Missouri weather is definitely quite something. It definitely has been this year, especially. So how do you prepare for harvest? Like your machinery, yourself? How do we get things up and going?
Preparing for harvest, one of the big things is you don't want to have breakdowns in the field. So with our machines, we're going to get them in, we're going to inspect them, we're going to go over them, look for things that are worn, broken, whatever, in the off season. But you're changing the oils, you're greasing them, and then we got an app that tells us when it's time to reset and hit those 50-hour zerts again or whatever. And but then preparing myself for harvest, it's you don't want to be sure and get some sleep before harvest begins because it's long days, early mornings, long days up into the night, to get everything gathered up because when it's harvest time, it's go time because the weather doesn't always hold.
Yeah.
Especially in Missouri, and soybeans, the weather they have to be dry to be able to harvest them. You can't harvest them on a cloudy day or whatever. So there's when the window's there, you got to go.
Yeah. So in the middle of all this busy time in harvest, how do you take care of yourself?
Taking care of myself during harvest, during any busy season, you need to take a little bit of time to pause and self-reflect. When things are not going right, don't jump to conclusions. But those little deposits that you make with your family, to let them know that you care about them, them making those deposits for you. Also, just little gestures like my wife will fix me breakfast, And I tell her, I'm like, I love that you do that because I could cook my own breakfast, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to. And, but that gesture of being like, here's some bacon and eggs for you. I really like that. And so just little gestures, and, send messages that say, hey, thinking about you during this time, or, how's your day going?
Yeah, yeah.
Those kind of things.
I think we pretty much. How long did harvest take you this year?
Well, it actually harvest for us was actually because we had minimal breakdowns, and was able to kind of work through them, and with the machines operate like they did, we actually knocked out harvest in like 3 weeks of actual operating time. Now we had some breaks in there where we took a little time to go do some other things because we were caught up to beans that were mature or whatever. But so we actually was only about 3 weeks of actual operational go time.
Okay. I think that's pretty well all I got.
So, Haley, so you followed us throughout the harvest season, and you're behind the camera most of the time.
Yep.
You're collecting videos, piecing stuff together, making just awesome clips for the social channels for viewers out there. What's it been like for you?
Busy, but not as busy as you all, of course. It's just getting everything pieced together, and I get a lot of different different like sections of the day, I guess I should say, just of different videos and pictures and stuff like that, and sometimes I don't have a lot of context, so of course I gotta go back through Voxer and get the context for those, and that'll help. But other than that, once I get it built and then sent out to other people, engagement's been really well on some platforms, some not so much, but where we're losing on one, we're gaining on the other, so it's not really that big of a loss to me. But yeah.
Awesome. You mentioned Voxer,
Yes.
that's an app tool, walkie-talkie app tool that we use, and so that being able to capturing our daily activities allows you to, be able to piece together the context, and not have to be on site all the time, know what's going on.
Yeah. I definitely recommend that app to anybody who has, a person like me that's in their business, or just for any reason, honestly, because it documents everything. Like, if you have a breakdown and they get on there and they say, hey, this happened, what do I do? Like, that's documented with the time and the date. Like, you can easily go back and see it. So, I mean, it just collects all your data for you.
That it does. Data drives decisions, and and that's one of the things that you're going to get into later. We're going to have an interview with our office guy that keeps all the stuff going behind the scenes. So,
Yes.
You'll get to ask him all the data questions.
Oh yeah, I can't. Well, thank you, Brooks, for sitting down with me today. I look forward for whenever we can catch up again.
Awesome. I enjoyed it. Thank you.